Hi, this is Andre Dumet, CEO of GeoSymbol Technologies, here to walk you through GeoXray for the city of Jalalabad in Afghanistan. So we zoom in on the city, and the points begin to populate themselves. You can see there in the image, points of interest, and there are a number of different categories, companies, restaurants, government buildings, etc., and the points of interest are broken out. You can pull them up on the left by clicking on them, and the dialog box will show you where that point of interest is located, or you can actually just cruise about on the actual image itself, moving it up, down, left, right, etc., based on what you're interested in. Here I'm just going through and clicking on different POIs there on the left-hand pane and seeing what they are in more of an exploration mode. Now as I zoom in, getting closer to the city, you can see I've selected some specific points of interest, and I'm just exploring what's in this area because I may be unfamiliar with it. Trying to determine, okay, what is in this area, what types of organizations, facilities, etc. are here. I can get a little bit more of a higher level view, and I do have some options here. You have content associated with them, and now you can actually filter out any points of interest that don't have any content, news, text, blogs, etc. We've put everything back in for situational awareness. And now I'm going to search for a hotel that I've heard about here in the city called the Spingar Hotel. It's pulled it up. It shows me where it is. I can zoom in on it and see what's in that area, show themselves on the left-hand pane. I'm going to go down and pull up some content associated with the Spingar Hotel. I pull up the first one. It's an NPR story, war stories, etc. I'm going to look for Spingar Hotel. And as you see here, it didn't find it. I spelled Spingar the way I saw it there in the POI. Now I'm going to take a closer look here to see what happened. Why isn't it finding it? Aha, see, if I spell it spin space G-H-A-R, it is in fact in there. Now why did the system find it since it was spelled differently? When we go back and take a look at the data behind that point of interest, we'll see that there is an alternate name there with the space, and so it was able to find it anyway, even though it was spelled differently. In a lot of these the foreign countries, there are many alternate names and obviously foreign languages, and our system can handle that very well. So we're going to go at a very high level here, and when we go at a very high level, you'll see that the icons look different. That's because they've clustered not into points of interest, but actually into content clusters. So now I'm going to search for something. I'm going to search for the term UAV crash. I heard there was a UAV crash recently. It filters all the content for that term, and I find it associated with this point of interest in the area of Basud. So I go in here and I pull up content. There's a crash incident, and it has the date there. So I'll go back and say, well, that's interesting, a UAV crash. Who handles air traffic control in this area? So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up in terms of a topic filter within this geographic extent only, and it filters it down to just 2 locations that have that content. I end up, perhaps unsurprisingly, at the airport. This is the forward operating base Fenty there at the Jalalabad airport. We'll pull up the content that had the search phrase air traffic, and it goes to a YouTube video of forward operating base Fenty. Talks a little bit about what the air traffic controllers do there, etc. And as the video plays out, it talks a little bit about what the ATC folks do, different aircraft, etc. So now you get a little situational awareness of air traffic control there in the area. Now when we pull off the search filter, there's actually quite a bit of content associated with that point of interest, and we can go through and just browse it. Here's a comment that shows that there's some interesting content tied to this particular blog. So we'll follow that thread and pull up the article that was referenced and open that up. And it mentioned that it had some good aerial photos. We'll see if that's true. This is essentially a demonstration of the ability to do some networking and commenting among informed people. And here we've pulled up the article that was referred to here. It's got some nice aerial imagery of Jalalabad. So we found some rich content there, and we can also now decide, well, I'm interested really only in very recent news in the last day or the last week. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to pull in a filter for the last week. This is now just one week past. And you can see it filters down this rather large area here in Nangarhar province in the Jalalabad area of Afghanistan. And we see a pretty big number down there. There must be something happening down there where that big 12 is. So we're going to zoom in on that because there's got to be some action here in the last week or so. So we're going to continue to zoom in on that point or multiple points. And this just resolves to one point. We go ahead and select it, and it's the Tora Bora area. And there is activity there just in the last couple of days. 12/29. That was yesterday. Recording this on December 30th, 2010. And we go through and we'll find what exactly it is that pulled up, and it's more activity around Tora Bora. So that's an example of filtering a large area just for time and getting the most recent information for your geographic area of interest. Now we're going to pull up the Indian consulate because we may need to go there, or we've heard that there's something near there that's of interest. So we've got that. We're back in Jalalabad, and we notice that, in fact, there's the Spingar Hotel across from the Indian consulate. So we've got some sort of basic utility in navigation here if you're in this area or interested in it. And, of course, nearby, it looks like there's some sort of park there. And it's referenced in this article. You can go through here and find this Amir Shahed Park. And it looks like we've got something similar that we had with Spingar because there's two different spellings. There's Amir Shahid there, and it pulled it in because it had the alternate spelling as well. So that's a day in the life and just a quick tour of Jalalabad with GeoXray. Thanks for joining us.